MSNBC's Joy Reid has choice words for conservatives. She is mocking them over Mark Zuckerberg coming out saying, yeah, we're going to get rid of the fact-checking thing. The video is actually quite hilarious because the lady is not too bright. That's why she recently took a pay cut at her failing network. But while we can bask in the glory that is their defeat, the far left, the woke left losing everything, important points must be made. And I'm going to say this first and foremost. Mark Zuckerberg coming out and saying, hey, free speech, this is not the pendulum swing. That's a lie. These leftists, these liberals, the people of the institutions and the corporate press are saying that Mark Zuckerberg is just bending the knee to Donald Trump. He's simply going the other direction. No, he isn't. If this was truly going to be a pendulum swing, then what they would do is they'd keep the fact-checking program, but kick out PolitiFact and the Poynter Institute, among others, and they'd bring in Breitbart and the National Review. They'd bring in the Daily Wire and say, from now on, all our fact-checking will be done by our larger media partners in the conservative media space. Yeah, but that's not what they're doing. So let's see the smug and smarmy Joy Reid and what she had to say about the issue.
Why would conservatives think fact-checking is biased against them?
Well, let's start with allsides.com and even Ground News rating these companies, 9 of the fact checkers, as being liberal biased. That's perhaps one reason.
I mean, what are you sharing if you keep getting fact checked?
True and correct information. True and correct information that went against the narrative. How about that? Like the Hunter Biden laptop.
Think about it. What were conservatives sharing on Meta that was getting flagged so much? Were they spreading false information?
This lady is as dumb as a box of rocks, and I am reluctant to say such a thing because I fear it is offensive to rocks. But here's the story from Daily Mail. MSNBC's Joy Reid is going viral after a fit over Mark Zuckerberg's U-turn on fact-checking. The readout star took to TikTok to air her distaste on Tuesday. The latter was delivered on the air, blah, blah, blah. Why would conservatives think fact-checking is biased against them? Well, heavens me, let's pull up allsides.com. The end of fact-checking at Meta, an overdue change or pro-Trump pivot. So they basically break it down. All Sides is a great website. You can see here the Western Journal. Zuckerberg drops fact-checking and they say right biased from the left. Meta says fact-checkers were the problem. Fact-checkers rule that false. All right, let's pop over to that there media bias chart and take a look at the news. Here's their methodology. Here's how they break it down. And let's pull up their media bias chart. Here we go. So let's take a look at what is considered to be centrist. To answer Joy Reid's question, BBC, the Christian Science Monitor, CNBC, Forbes, The Hill, Market Watch, News Nation, Newsweek, Real Clear Politics, Reason, Reuters. I don't know what SAN is. And the Wall Street Journal. We can pop over to the left and see ABC News, Axios, Bloomberg, CBS, CNN Insider, NBC, New York Times, NPR, Politico, ProPublica, Semaphore, Time, USA Today, Washington Post. Heavens me. On the left, we have The Daily Beast, The Atlantic, The Associated Press. Now, hold on there, gosh darn minute. You mean to tell me that allsides.com has rated The Associated Press as leftist? That's quite interesting. Let me see if I can pull up a document on the list of, let's do this, list of approved Facebook fact checkers. Let's do this. Facebook. A map of Meta's global third-party, no, let's get the actual list here. Partnering with, what is this? List of fact-checking website, Meta's third-party. Come on, where's the list? I may have to actually, AFP, how about that? I'm going to have to go to some original research to pull this one up. And let's grab this right here. Oh, how about this? I'm going to grab this tweet from Red Steez over on X. This one's for you, Joy Reid. So Aaron Shirakman says, we'll have more to say on this, but these are my thoughts. Basically saying the end of the fact-checking program has nothing to do with free speech. Video shows Biden wandered off from world leaders at G7 skydiving event. False, they said. It's pretty amazing because he did. And they said, well, he was going to greet someone else. And that's what we are saying. The view in question was Joe Biden standing with a group of world leaders. A skydiver was somewhere off in the distance, and Biden walked off to go talk to the guy. He wandered off from world leaders. And they said, false. Because that was always the dirty game that they played. Let's jump back to their article from the Media Bias Fact Checker. And then we'll rag on, take a look at this. Common ground on facts and fact checking. Think misinformation increases hate crimes. They say, how do they break this down? I don't know if they're getting into it on this one. They say, voice on the left were less likely to see the alleged political bias of fact checkers as a problem. In the New York Times, with a left bias, fact-checking organization said they had no say over what Meta did with the fact-checked content. A piece in The Verge, a left bias, also quoted fact-checking organizations and researchers concerned that users will now have to wade through virtually unmoderated hate speech and disinformation. Others framed the change as a Trump-friendly shift to the right. And that's basically what I'm trying to get at with this segment. The reason why I want to talk about Joy Reid's hypocrisy in her comments is because this is not a rightward shift. This is neutrality. And if they're going to make the argument that Zuckerberg is kissing Trump's ring, Trump has settled for neutrality. How about you push back? How about you say, keep doing it, but take away the power from left-leaning outlets? I wonder if all sides, I can search for Pointer. Let's see if they come up. They give Pointer a centrist rating. Well, okay. Then I'm gonna basically just I'll go with all sides on this one because I'm citing them. Meta says fact checkers were the problem. Fact checkers rule that false. Left bias. That was the name of the game. Zuckerberg sat down with Trump in November. Blah blah blah. And a lot of these wealthy dudes, they're giving money to Donald Trump. But you see, this is the appeal to authority. Excuse me, bias. Let me keep playing this clip.
Eager. And why are Republicans in general so eager to end the idea of fact checking? What are they trying to share? What is the motivation for not wanting it?
Okay, well, you framed them as questions, so I'll explain to you, Joy Reid. How about when you said you claimed that Trump's transition to power was the most violent in U.S. history? I'm pretty sure that's wrong. The Civil War has a question for you. The ascension of, like, I don't know, Ulysses S. Grant, or like the killing of Abraham Lincoln. We had the council in 1876, which determined who would be the president by like committee approval because they were terrified of another civil war breaking out. Then, of course, you had like the civil rights movement. And of course, you had the Weather Underground. Yo, come on. JFK died. How about the most violent transition to power was just LBJ when the other president was murdered? Yeah. This is the problem with quote unquote fact checking. You're liars. You're not really fact checking. You're making up BS. One of the most famous instances is that Snopes waited 7 years to fact check that Donald Trump did not call neo-Nazis and white supremacists very fine people. He never did. But the whole time, this was a lie. And so now we're dealing with these people like Joy Reid going on TV and saying Trump's a convicted felon. You know, the issue here is that's the game they play. Joy Reid's like, you don't like fact checkers? You must be sharing misinformation. If you're stupid and you don't read into it and you're not looking, that's what they're doing to manipulate you. Because it's like when Antifa says, we're not fascist because our name is anti-fascist. And it's like, yeah, and you go around mercilessly beating people and firebombing buildings to get your way. You're authoritarians. You have a lot in common with fascists. Oh, that's stupid. We're anti-fascist. That's the game they're playing. So, Joy, it's no surprise your network is dying and you had to take a major pay cut. So how about we round off this segment by gloating over Joy Reid being a liar or just really dumb, or why not both? And this story from Yahoo. MSNBC host Rule and Reid taking pay cuts. Take a look at this. I don't know, Reid and Rule. Stephanie Rule, she gets paid $2 million a year. Ugh. And Joy Reid gets $3 million a year. We've got to put an end to this industry, my friends. As Michael Malice likes to say, something to the effect of, the battle rages on until people will judge the corporate press the same way they do tobacco executives. And I'm paraphrasing, I don't have an exact quote, but I agree. We need to look at people like Joy Reid and Stephanie Rule and say they are scumbags. They are liars, and their intention is not to inform you of what's going on in the world. It's to trick and manipulate. Now, it may just be that they're both very stupid, but I don't think so. You know, people want to make fun of Donald Trump and call him an idiot. And I'm like, you don't get to this position by being a moron. So they're going to whinge and they're going to cry about Mark Zuckerberg and all of that. But you know what? All that matters is we are winning. And despite the fact this is not a swing in the direction of the right, it's neutrality. Neutrality. Well, okay, it is a swing back to the right only in that they're so far left, it's going to the center. But the pendulum's stopping there. From here, it's going to be up to us to push the culture and make sure that we drown out these liars. I'll leave it there. Smash that like button. Share the show with everyone you know. Become a member over at Timcast.com. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all in the next segment.